What's up, San Antonio Sparce fans? My name is Indomitable Will, and I am bringing you our draft analysis for the WPF Delta. This is your San Antonio Sparce. Alright, so we had 14th pick in a 16-man draft, and our first pick was Chi Yu. Chi Yu is an incredible breaker, and not something I expected to fall to 14th pick. Its Fire Dark typing is amazing offensively, and with its ability Beads of Ruin and its base 100 speed, it hits like a fucking truck. That thing is a monstrosity. Alright, up next we have Iron Treads. So, Iron Treads, great rapid spinner, great knockoff, amazing utility, and it's a ground and a steel type, which is a very useful typing to have in a draft. But I took it because not many things in this format, because this is a Wi-Fi league, so not many things in this format have access to knockoff. Not many things in this format have access to rapid spin. So I knew in a 16-person draft that this would not make it back to me. So instead of getting a potentially stronger Mon that was on the board at that point, I just wanted to make sure I could get Stealth Rock off for my Chi Yu so that my Chi Yu could be enabled a bit further. Alright, up next we have Slowking. So Slowking is another thing that I personally think is essential to a draft in a slow pivot as well as a bulky water type. So Slowking has the move Chilly Reception, which allows it to get up the snow and switch out, which this can enable both Chi Yu and a Breaker Iron Tread set to go in and become an offensive menace. As well as Slowking is a very bulky water type and can take special hits with ease. Up next, we have Thunderous Incarnate. And Thunderous is my Terra Captain, which means I can terrestrialize it into any type. And with that base 111 speed stat, in Prankster or Defiant, it's a menace with terrestrialization. Up next, we have Enamorous Therian, and Enamorous is one of the few fairy types in this format. It's also a new Pokemon, so I wanted to try it, but Enamorous Therian, basically, it's very bulky, it's slow, but it's bulky, and we wanted a bulky fairy type. It can hit very hard on both the physically and specially offensive side, as well as be a tank, and so overall, there were not very many fairies left at this point, and I thought, I want my fairy type because there are so many scary dragons in this format. We're going to take Enamorous Therian. Alright, up next we have a Mungus. A Mungus has the ability Regenerator, which Slowking also has, so we wanted to form a bit of a defensive core with a Mungus and Slowking. A Mungus is also a grounded poison type, which means it can absorb opposing toxic spikes, and it gets solid utility such as Spore and Toxic, which not many Pokemon have anymore, and overall just a very, very solid pick, rounding out my defensive backbone. Up next we have Intellion. So I normally do not like type overlap, however Intellion's speed was essential here. Intellion is faster than Thunderous. It reaches a max speed at level 100 at 372, I believe, which is base 120, 121, something like that. Anyway, that is much faster than Thunderous's base 111, and so we wanted some kind of speed demon with the move U-turn so we could pivot out. But also, Intellion is a great offensive water type, so we have water as an offensive typing as well as a defensive typing, and yeah, Intellion just seemed like a great pickup here. It can hit hard, it's fast, not much to complain about. Up next we have Gargonacle, which is rounding out our defensive core. Gargonacle is an amazingly impressive wall. It has the ability Purifying Salt, which is very, very good, meaning it takes half damage from any ghost type attack, as well as it's immune to all status effects, which, my god, that's impressive. It also gets a broken attack called Salt Cure, which Salt Cure basically deals residual damage every single turn if they are not the Covert Cloak item, which prevents that. However, Salt Cure Gargonacle is just a freaking menace. And it rounds out the defensive core with Slowking and a Mungus really nicely. Up next, and actually this is our last pick of the draft, we have Titan. So earlier when I was talking about Slowking's chilly reception, Titan was the thing I wanted to abuse that. So chilly reception is going to set the snow up. Titan gets its defense doubled in the snow, and Slowking pivots right out into it. It also gets its speed doubled in the snow. So Titan, perfect snow abuser, and that could lead to some potentially dangerous situations for my opponents. Alright, thank you all for joining me. That was your San Antonio Sparce for Season 1 of the WPF Delta Division. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.